Have you ever wondered what it's like to live as a bee? An intriguing question, isn't it? The world of bees is a buzzing sphere of mystery, filled with diligent workers, regal queens, and industrious drones. These tiny marvels are not just honey producers, they play a critical role in our ecosystem. They are nature's most industrious pollinators, and without them, our plant world would be a barren landscape. Let's delve a little deeper into the bee's society. A bee colony is a well-oiled machine, each member having a specific role to play. At the helm is the queen bee. She's the heart and soul of the hive, and her primary role is to lay eggs, thousands of them in fact. She ensures the survival and growth of the colony. Then we have the worker bees, the females who literally work themselves to death. From nursing the larvae, maintaining the hive, gathering nectar, to defending the colony, these bees are the backbone of the hive. Last but not least, we have the drones. These are the male bees whose sole purpose is to mate with the queen. Sounds like an easy life, doesn't it? However, once they have fulfilled their role, they are no longer needed and are expelled from the hive. Now, what's fascinating is how these roles are not fixed. For instance, a worker bee can step up and become a queen if the need arises. It's a complex social structure, one that mirrors the intricacies of human societies. Bees are more than just insects. They are a testament to the marvels of nature. Their world is a dance of survival, duty, and sacrifice, a world that operates with clockwork precision. Now that you know how unique bees are you ready to dive into their world and discover their life cycle? Stay tuned. Our journey begins in a brood cell within the heart of the hive. In this intricate labyrinth of honeycomb, a story of life unfolds. In a single hexagonal chamber, the queen bee, the matriarch of the colony, gently deposits an egg. This egg, barely the size of a pinhead, holds within it the potential to become a worker, a drone, or perhaps even a future queen. The queen bee's role doesn't just stop at laying the egg. She releases a pheromone, a chemical signal that communicates to the worker bees that a new life has begun. It's this pheromone that keeps the hive functioning as a harmonious unit, each bee performing its duties for the good of the colony. Once the egg is laid, the worker bees swing into action. Their job: to nurture this tiny life into its next stage. The egg is fed royal jelly, a nutrient-rich substance produced by the worker bees. This jelly is the first meal for every bee, regardless of its future role in the hive. 3 days later, the egg hatches into a larva. This grub-like creature is helpless, relying entirely on the worker bees for its survival. The workers continue their tireless work, feeding the larva a diet of honey and pollen, known as bee bread. This mixture provides the growing larva with all the nutrients it needs to develop. As the larva grows, its diet changes, and so does its needs. The worker bees respond accordingly, adjusting the composition of the bee bread to meet the larva's evolving requirements. This process is vital for the larva's development, as it prepares for its next stage of life. The larva's growth is rapid, and within 6 days, it has grown almost 1,000 times its original size. The worker bees then seal the brood cell, allowing the larva to begin its transformation into a pupa. From a tiny egg to a larva, the bee's life is already full of fascinating transformations. But the adventure is just beginning. As the larva grows, it enters a new stage of life, the pupa. The pupa phase, an often overlooked yet essential part of the bee's life cycle, is when the real magic happens. It's the twilight zone between the larval stage and adulthood, a quiet cocoon of transformation. During this stage, the bee's body undergoes significant changes. The larva's soft, squishy body starts to harden, preparing for its adult life. It begins to develop legs, wings, a thorax, and an abdomen. Organs required for its adult life, such as compound eyes and antennae, start to form. This change doesn't happen overnight, but gradually, over a span of about 1 to 2 weeks. The process is akin to a caterpillar turning into a butterfly, but in this case, it's a bee larva turning into an adult bee. The pupa might look like it's resting, but inside, it's undergoing a magical transformation. Finally, after all the transformation and growth, an adult bee emerges. This is a moment of triumph in the life cycle of a bee, a culmination of its metamorphosis from a tiny egg to a full-grown adult. The adult bee, now fully formed, cracks open the protective shell of its pupa, freeing itself into a world buzzing with activity. The bee's first moments as an adult are nothing short of miraculous. Imagine waking up one day to find that you've transformed from a helpless infant to a fully capable adult. It's a whole new world, and the bee is ready to explore it. But it's not all fun and games for our newly emerged adult bee. There's work to be done. The bee must first clean out its own cell, a sort of housekeeping duty that marks its first responsibility within the hive. This task is essential for maintaining the cleanliness and hygiene of the hive, which is crucial for the survival of the bee colony. The bee then embarks on its next responsibility, feeding the young. This task, known as nursing, involves feeding the larvae with a special substance known as royal jelly. This nutrient-rich substance is produced by the nurse bees and is vital for the growth and development of the bee larvae. As the bee matures, its responsibilities within the hive continue to evolve. It may become a forager, tasked with venturing outside the hive to gather nectar and pollen, or it might serve as a guard bee, protecting the hive from intruders. Each role is vital, each task important, contributing to the smooth functioning of the hive. And so begins the life of an adult bee, a life dedicated to the service of its colony. From its very first moments, the bee is a worker, a nurturer, a protector. It's a life of hard work, but also one of purpose and fulfillment. The adult bee has emerged, but its life's journey is far from over. It has roles to play, tasks to perform, and a colony to serve. From worker to forager, every bee has a role to play in the hive. The moment a bee emerges from its pupal stage, it takes on a critical role in the complex social structure of the colony. For the first 1 to 3 weeks of their adult life, they are known as worker bees. Their duties are primarily housekeeping. They clean the hive, feed the larvae, and attend to the queen. They are the backbone of the hive, ensuring that it remains a well-oiled machine. Then there are the guard bees. These bees stand at the entrance of the hive, inspecting each bee that comes in to ensure they belong to their colony. They are the defenders of the hive, protecting it from intruders and threats. As the bees mature, they transition into the role of foragers, the gatherers of the hive. Foragers venture out of the hive in search of pollen and nectar. They're the adventurers, the explorers, braving the vast world outside the hive to bring back essential resources. An average worker bee lives for about 6 weeks during the summer. The first half of their life is spent inside the hive, performing various tasks. The latter half is spent foraging for nectar and pollen. Despite their short lifespan, these tiny creatures accomplish a lot. They contribute to the survival and success of their colony, and they play a crucial role in pollination, which is vital for the environment and our own food supply. But as with all life, death is inevitable. When a bee's time comes, it often dies outside the hive during a foraging trip. The hive then continues on, fueled by the next generation of bees ready to take on their roles. And thus, the bee completes its life's journey, having played a vital role in the survival of its colony and the environment. From a tiny egg to a diligent worker, the bee's life is truly an adventurous journey. We've witnessed the miraculous transformation of a minuscule egg into a buzzing bee. From its birth in the hive, to its metamorphosis into a pupa, and finally its emergence as an adult bee, each stage of its existence is a testament to nature's wonder. But let's remember that these tireless workers also play a critical role in our own lives. As master pollinators, bees are indispensable for the survival of our ecosystems. They help in the reproduction of plants, which in turn provides food for numerous species, including us humans. However, these incredible creatures are under threat. Let's all make a conscious effort to conserve them, to ensure the continued harmony of our ecosystems. If you enjoyed this journey and want to discover more about the fascinating world around us, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. See you in the next adventure.